Everybody watched SmackDown and said the same thing. Randy Orton betrayed Cody Rhodes. But I think that is the safest possible reading of what really happened. Because last night did not feel like Randy stabbing a friend in the back. It felt like Cody Rhodes making the dumbest mistake a champion can make, looking a snake dead in the eyes and begging it to bite. Cody kept pushing for the real Randy, the darker Randy, the legend killer Randy. And the second he did that, this stopped being a contract signing and turned into a warning. The blood, the chaos, the title in Orton's hands after it was all over. That was not a man losing control. That was a man reminding Cody exactly who he has been this whole time. Did Randy Orton betray Cody Rhodes? Or did Cody Rhodes create the monster that is about to take everything from him? Because here is what made this segment so effective. This feud needed help. Let's just be honest. Cody versus Randy has history. It has respect. It has nostalgia. It has legacy. It has mentor versus student energy. But for a WrestleMania title match, that was not enough. Not yet. It felt important, but it did not feel dangerous. And danger is what Randy Orton is supposed to bring into a story like this. Not just experience, not just legacy, not just a cool entrance and an RKO tease. That feeling that one wrong sentence can get you dropped on your head. That feeling that trusting him for even 1 second makes you look stupid. That feeling that the match might already be over before the bell rings because Randy got inside your head first. That was missing. And Cody is the one who brought it back. That is what makes this so interesting. Because Cody did not treat Randy like a threat last night. He treated him like a man he understood. That was the mistake. Cody looked at Randy Orton like he was still talking to an old friend, an old mentor, a guy with darkness in him. But Randy Orton has never worked like that. You do not challenge Randy Orton to become more ruthless and expect him to keep that energy in a safe little box until WrestleMania. You do not call on the darker version of Randy Orton and then act shocked when he shows up early. That is like pouring blood in the water and then getting offended when the shark starts moving. And this is not even the first time Cody should have seen it coming. Go back version of wrestling where history and friendship protect you from what the title does to people. That is Cody's worldview. That is not Randy's. And that is why this heel turn works so well. Because Randy did not suddenly become evil. He became honest. That is the part people do not want to hear. Everyone is saying Randy turned on Cody. No. Randy returned to form. There is a difference. The Viper was always in there. The Apex Predator was always in there. The Legend Killer was always in there. Cody just gave him a reason to stop pretending otherwise. And once that happened, look at how the whole segment changed. This did not feel like a random attack WWE booked because they wanted a cheap pop. It felt deliberate. It felt personal. It felt like Randy decided the respect portion of this feud was over, and the real feud could finally begin. That is why the visuals mattered so much. Not just the attack, not just Cody bleeding, not just the chaos. It was the way Randy carried himself through all of it. The jelly roll shove was important because it showed Randy was beyond caring who was in the way. Then he comes back again. Not because he had to, because he wanted the image. That is what killers do. They make sure the memory of it lasts longer than the pain. And the final image said everything. Randy Orton in the ring. Cody destroyed the title sitting in Randy's lap. That was not regret. That was Randy basically saying, this was never Cody's story to control. And now Cody has a much bigger problem than just getting revenge, because revenge is easy. Wrestling angry, trying to fight harder, is easy. But none of that solves Cody's real issue. His real issue is that he still wants to believe meaning matters more than instinct. Cody believes in legacy. Randy weaponizes legacy. Cody believes trust means something. Randy sees trust as the opening. Cody believes the championship completes the story. Randy sees the championship as the thing that reveals who you really are. That is why I keep saying, Randy might actually be right. Not right morally, not right as a friend, not right as a human being, right that Cody still has this blind spot, right that Cody still thinks heart can control violence. Not against Randy Orton. Against Randy Orton, heart gets you hurt. And now WrestleMania feels completely different. Now it feels like Cody walking into the biggest title defense of his reign, against the one man who knows exactly how he thinks. A man who knows what Cody values. A man who knows what Cody wants to prove. A man who knows that Cody's biggest strength is also the easiest thing to manipulate. That is what finally made this feud feel massive. Because it is not just champion versus challenger anymore. It is idealism versus instinct. Emotion versus cruelty. The student who still believes this business can mean something, against the mentor who learned a long time ago that meaning is usually just the bait. And now the real question is not whether Randy crossed the line. Of course he did. Because if Cody goes into WrestleMania trying to out-heart Randy Orton, he is dead. If he goes in thinking this is still about friendship and betrayal and proving who the better man is, he is dead. Randy does not care about being the better man. He cares about being the last man standing with the title in his hands. And after SmackDown, that suddenly feels a whole lot more possible than it did before. So no, last night was not just Randy Orton turning heel. It was Cody Rhodes making the mistake of treating a snake like a friend and finding out too late that the snake never forgot what it was. And that is why this feud finally feels like a WrestleMania main event.